is a train that is composed of what? Sets of wagons or rail cars. That means there may be 2 covered wagons, 3 or so, covered wagons with sliding door and roof, and there may be maybe 5 container carrying wagon. Then such a train would be a part train, but a part train does not operate within only a loop. By loop, I'm considering just a start point and an end point. Part trains goes beyond, the first station or the end station. If the train has 2 or more destinations to go to, then it's a part train. And a part train should have, 2 or more different kinds of types of wagons. Liner trains are similar to passenger trains. They are trains that make frequent stops. And at any stop, it could be a junction, it could be just anywhere. There should be many of such stops. And at each stop, the train is allowed to load and offload in this sequence of the terminals. Such system is called liner trains, right? So a liner train is allowed to make frequent stops at different destinations. And at these destinations, goods could be loaded or offloaded at any station. These are the 4 operating systems that you need to know their differences. Shuttle train, block train, part train, liner trains. 4 of them. Shuttle train or block train, part trains, liner trains. This slide shows on top a train in red color with 3 wagons following it, starting from maybe a warehouse or a forwarding station to another station. In the middle, you will see different types of wagons being loaded. On the extreme left of the middle, the wagon being loaded there could easily be a covered wagon with sliding door and sliding roof. Pay attention to that. And it is the same wagon in the second picture. You see, because it's a sliding door and sliding roof, there is a big gap of space that enables the forwarder or whoever is loading the train to safely load the boxes or cartons or whatever you call it into the wagon without the fear of damaging the boxes or their content quite easily. The third picture is a covered wagon with sliding door. You see that there's an opening here and an opening at the other end, so you can see through. And the fourth picture in the middle on your right with the forklift in front shows boxes or cartons being loaded into a wagon, and that is also a covered wagon with sliding doors. At the bottom, there's an illustration of block train. You see that the green point on your right, please. The green point is the forwarding station, and the red point is the destination station. If you look at those blocks at the top, the locomotive is in black, and all the other trails or wagons following it in pictorial form is of the same color. So that's a block train. Now, in the middle picture, you see groups of rail wagons. And when you see it pictorially, you realize that apart from the locomotive, which is shaded in black, the wagons following it, the first 4 are of the same shade. And the fifth, sixth, and seventh are also of a different shade, which could be different types of wagons. This is what we call group of rail wagons. Means they have 4 group of one type of wagons and 3 group, and they are all combined in one train with a locomotive starting from destination. To do this, probably the 3 on the backside may come from destinations, different sources, and they will be carried to a particular station where maybe one group of wagons will be discharged at, and then the rest would continue. On the left side, you see what we call single wagons. In the single wagon, the locomotive is shaded in black, and following that, you see that each wagon is shaded differently. It may be that each wagon is coming from a different shipper or customer or a forwarder that are all consolidated into one freight train, and then it goes from all sorts of train. Here, cargo may be coming from one point, being joined at maybe a branch, and then they are carried on to the main forwarding station to the destination, and then they are distributed to the consignees. So this explains the concept of single railway line, group of railways, and then block trains. As I explained earlier, the top group of wagons could easily be block train. You see they are of the same size, and typically this could be covered, just covered wagons, because the entrance or the doors are only so small. They don't cover the entire side or the width of the train. So this will be covered wagons in a block train. Right. The second row of train will be what? Rail wagons, group of rail wagons. See, each wagon is different, loaded differently, and shaded in different colors. The third row is of great interest to what I described earlier about loading. You see that the cargoes are what have been loaded into the wagons. The cargoes have been shaded into different colors. And please, if you look at it carefully, you see that there are gaps between the loads, and the loads have been, well arranged in the various wagons. This is what goes on in rail transport. The cargoes are not bunched together as we do in road transport. There is no wedging here. No cargo has just been, fitted off between the spaces among the cargoes. This is how trains are loaded. There may be space simply because a load may, not be put in the train to exceed certain length of the wagon. See, there are limits to the weight or the tonnage that can be loaded over a certain distance in the wagon. So the cargo is well spread to suit or in accordance with the tonnage per meter and the rest of it. And there is no wedging here. There is no overloading here. They all fit into the wagons neatly. And the bottom one also shows you, flat cars or, they're all flat cars because they are 2-axled flat wagons, carrying different sorts of cargo. These are products in rail transport.